I see all nationalities talking about this, to be quite honest.
I
I
mean,
don't know why they think. I don't know why everybody think it's only black. They blame us for everything. They blame black women for everything. Only black people are doing this. Only black women are doing this. No, the fuck we're not. We didn't even start it, and y'all still finding a way to blame the black woman.
Right.
We didn't even create the movement,
Right.
and you still finding a way to put it on us.
Right. The only reason why is because I always tell people the only reason why it seems like black people do it the most is because we are America's star of the show.
We set the trend.
Look,
So
we may have the beef, but we put season on our beef, so we season that little
exactly,
beef that we have.
we do it. We
That
do it.
that
We
makes
do
sense,
it better.
Chicago. We make it more
We do it.
saucy, huh?
Yeah, we do it
Yeah, we
better.
make it a little more palatable with that beef. So.
Okay, Brianna, did use your discernment. Cause one thing about you, Brianna, you ain't never added to the conversation with 6 followers. So for you to ask me what somebody purpose is on my panel when you ain't never even been on the panel, can't get on the panel and only cause division in my comment section, you might want to ask yourself why you here and what your purpose is here. Is your purpose to troll? Is your purpose to create division? Is your purpose to cause chaos? What are your purposes on my platform? Because the only thing I ever see you doing is kicking up shit. So ask yourself that question before you ask me why anybody is in my panel. Go ahead.
Losa,
I
V.
would
I'm
say
sorry, go
that is
ahead.
a trend just among, I mean, anyone. I mean, I assume this culture kind of takes place with anyone who has access to the internet or iPhone or like TikTok lives. It's just like a general thing that's going on because I would say like the cost of living and I don't know, and like with women too, like since 19 women couldn't have their own bank account until 1970. So as women are getting more power of their lives by being able to have like financial freedom of their own, this really wasn't a decision that they could make, if that makes sense.
Okay. And V Ray. I'm sorry, I'm
Goodbye,
from
Vic.
Chicago.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? I just wanted
We
to
good.
just leave my little feedback. This is just my personal opinion. Outside of each his own, because I think there's still going to be traditional women that do believe in marriage and the family unit. So it's not all women are not going to join the movement. Thing to say about the movement. Would I personally associate myself to the movement? I'm just an individual thinker, so I'm gonna move always by my gut instincts, my instincts, and what I feel like I need, how I need to move for my life. I've been single, celibate for 3 years. It's worked for me. I mean, I've had clarity, but it's to each his own. I won't for one moment try to talk anyone into my lifestyle. But I just wanted to say this really, really quick. This is just my personal opinion. I think it's gonna do good for both genders with
I
this
do
movement.
too. I think
And
it's a good movement.
yeah, and I think the reason why it's gonna be good for both genders, although most men may not see the benefit that they'll have from this, but it will give the woman the opportunity to center herself and to, if she needs to do the shadow work, if she needs to just focus solely on her, it would give the men who are not married already the opportunity to focus on themselves. I had
But
heard
they
in a
don't they don't believe in that, V Ray. So here's the thing. A lot of men don't believe in focusing on yourself, healing or anything like that. That's why they've decided, oh, women don't want us here. We're gonna get our passports to go somewhere else. We're not gonna heal, we're not gonna do the work, we're not gonna deal with the childhood traumas. We're not gonna do anything because all we're gonna do is just go get our passports and make it easier for ourselves because we just want a partner. Versus women are saying, you know what, we broken, we fucked up, we keep choosing the wrong men. Let me just go ahead and let me just get my shit together. What can black men
right,
heal from? The shit that they talk about, being cheated on by their first motherfucking girlfriend. A lot of black men ain't healed from the first motherfucking bitch that hurt them in the first place. A lot of black men ain't healed from the baby that the woman said wasn't his. A lot of black men ain't healed from the mama that made him be the father in the household. A lot of black men ain't healed. Do I need to go on? I can tell you what they ain't healed from,
come on
but it's a
now.
lot of black men that ain't healed from a lot of shit, and they project and deflect, or they don't do the work. Because they're taught not to. They're taught not to feel. They're taught not to do the work. They're taught that all you need to do is protect and provide. Go on, put that machine on. You are a machine. Be a machine. You know, like they're not taught to do no work. So let's talk about it.
Right. And so I feel like a lot of women are feeling like they're damned if they do. They're damned if they don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're the single mama who stayed to try to, even if they found themselves in situations where they weren't married and they end up being a single parent, or if they were married and got a divorce and now, is raising that child as the main custodial parent. However way, I feel like the women are getting fed up because it's like they can't win for losing, so they're just deciding to descend their man altogether, right? So I think really, because we hear so many things, call it, the 304s, single moms, you made this decision, you take sole responsibility. It's not the man's fault. You allowed it to happen. You needed to vet properly. You did this, you did that, and the third, right? So it's just like, no. And I've heard so many scenarios and different stance, on people, individual walks in life and how they ended up to be where they are now. And it's just like, I have yet to hear, them or a lot of men are just still blaming her. So she just saying, damn it, bump it. I'm just going to decenter men altogether and just focus on me. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. Also, I was in another live and a guy said, well, what about reproduction? We need to, you guys are gonna, need to have our babies or else we're going to become extinct. Nobody's going to be having babies. So that means that, the population is not going to be where it needs to be. But guess what? I had a thought about this and I wanted to see how you guys think about this. They put all kinds of stuff in our food to make us sick, right? They are unaliving our Black men and women every day. You know what I'm saying? And all across the world, all across the states. All of this stuff is happening. Do you think if there is a shortage in people or reproduction of of human beings that they would think twice on just out here, the police out here unaliving our people, or even population control with putting the stuff in the food? They would probably think twice and just say, no, we need to preserve them, because really in the United States, this corporate America, they need the workhorses to keep the country going. You get what I'm saying? I think it'll benefit everybody. To me, and I know I probably went on a tangent just then, but I think it would benefit all of us. I really do.
I think it will too. I'm not gonna even lie. I'm not gonna lie. I do think it's gonna benefit us.
And T, I was just gonna ask you and you too, Ray. What's the difference between the 4B movement and, back, when I was growing up, I used to hear a lot of like older ladies around me or sisters in college that say, I'm going to save myself for Jesus. Would save myself for Jesus and B2K would be the same? Like, are they kind of equivalent?
This motherfucker said B2K.
No, I'm sorry. 4B. 4B is the 4B and save yourself for Jesus is kind of similar in a way, because save yourself for Jesus, people, I even remember a lot of people in the church would say that. They're like, girl, I ain't dating no man, I'm only being with myself, I'm only staying with myself, I'm doing this. So I'm not, wouldn't that be equivalent? Like, so haven't this been kind of practiced?
I wouldn't say.
See, I think it's transcends any religious belief. It transcends, like, whether you believe in Jesus or whether you don't. It transcends any religious belief, I feel. So I don't think that it has anything to do with waiting for Jesus.
Well, I get that. I get, like, I'm not, and I know I threw the religion part in there, but if you take the religious part out and then you still say, I'm saving myself for Jesus, no.
No, because with the 4B movement, they're saying at all, until this changes. So say for instance, if in South Korea, let's just say it goes 2 decades and nothing changes, that means 2 decades of women that's in this movement that are saying we're not doing none of this stuff, no more kids, none of that, versus a woman that's saying I'm saving myself. That means she still would do it. She still would have intercourse, but she's just waiting for the right man. She still will have kids. She's just waiting for the right man. Them, they're actually doing it for a political reason.
So they would. Okay, so they never gonna get married at any point, or never.
Never, unless politically what's going on changes. That's the only time they would.
Well, that unless politically tough